Okay, good morning. It is Wednesday, driving to work. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what many of you might not have even heard, that the Kari Lake election trial was just thrown out yet again. We're going to talk about that and how the judge ruled. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Also, we'll talk about a little bit about why I think certain people might just throw out their computers, shut down the internet altogether, and go back to old style flip phones. That's coming up as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about the channel and where it's going and what's been happening with the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Also click the little bell icon. It'll let you know every time I put out new content. I'm going to take my first sip of coffee for the day. Stay tuned. Okay, so many of you might not have heard, but the Kari Lake trial, she sued signature verification. So about a month or so ago, the judge, liberal judge, threw it out, and the Arizona Supreme Court slapped that judge on the hand. No, you need to rehear this case. They have a standing. The judge said they had no standing. So, second phase of the trial just ended Friday, last Friday. Again, it's Wednesday, so I want to put this into context. Monday or Tuesday, that's a couple of days ago. Monday being a couple of days ago. Tuesday being yesterday. Just in case you're still asleep like I am. Speaking of asleep, one more. Beans flown in, roasted, flown in from Colombia, straight from Colombia. So he passed judgment. Now check out this judgment that he passed. First of all, judges are supposed to verify law and pass judgment based on written law. So during this second trial that ended Friday, by the way, these big trees that you see here, they're called mesquite trees. Many of you might know of the wood is very famous for barbecues, steak houses buy mesquite wood by the tons. Anyway, they put out a tiny yellow flower, and it's that season, so I can't stop coughing until I get by all these trees. So the judge passed judgment. He threw out the case Friday again. I'm repeating myself. This Monday that just passed, or just yesterday, Tuesday, he gave his ruling. And his ruling was as such. Although Kari's team gave ample evidence that the signature validation was not done as previous election years, that she had no standing, and I'll get into that. So previous election years, signature verification normally took anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half to verify a signature. Okay? All of a sudden, this election period, it went down from that time, we'll just call it a minute, just an average, a minute. All the years of elections, it's been about a minute. For some reason this year it was only, and the computers count this, anywhere from 1.5 seconds to 3 seconds. some odd reason this year. And Kari's legal team was able to prove this in court, along with some other mishaps. There was also voting machine testing. Now I'm getting off the tangent a little bit because I believe the judge's ruling was just based on the signature verification, not the voting machine testing. So getting back to the voting machine testing is when you test a machine for competency, when you test a machine to verify that it's going to print right, when it's the whole gamut of what it has to go through, it has to be done with both sides of the party standing there, inspectors standing there watching this test take place. Well, all of Arizona machines were tested. Unfortunately, it was tested metaphorically behind closed doors. They didn't tell anybody. However, the machines logged those tests, and those tests found that there was a percentage, and a rather high percentage. I thought I heard 60%, but let's not go with something I thought I heard. There's a rather high amount of machines that failed this test. Yet the inspectors did not decommission these voting machines, they just left them in play. And wouldn't you know that these voting machines happen to all be deployed, you guessed it, in Republican sections. So a lot of these machines were not working. That was also proven in court. But getting back to the signature verification, because that's all the judge ruled on for some reason. There's a lot of things that are taking place that are either not allowed, like the voting machine testing, or the irregularity of only a 1.5 to 3 second signature verification. They were able to prove all this. So here's the judge's ruling. I'm paraphrasing. Judge's ruling says, although you gave evidence that signature verification changed, your argument was that it did not take place. And he says, in my opinion, it did take place. However, nothing is written about the minimum amount of time that a verifier has to spend. He did not err in the side of an election being fair and honest. His opinion was based on doing the job loosely. Yeah, so they glanced at the signature. That was his opinion. You know, so if I was a judge, when you verify a signature, you're also verifying the legality, how legal that person who wrote that signature is. And the longer you take, the more concise the more accurate you're doing your job. he didn't care about accuracy. So he basically threw out Kari Lake's case again. So we'll see. Also, I'm hearing rumors that if Donald Trump is the front runner, he might pick Kari Lake as his VP. So there's some good news. Might. I said might. That's what I'm hearing. And that would be a good choice. She's strong. She's intelligent. She's not afraid to stand up for what is good for this country. She's a woman voter. Isn't that what they're all crying for? Equality? So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about whether you really want to have the internet in the future, or whether basically it's a honey trap, a honeypot. Honeypot, look it up. It's a cybersecurity term. It's basically when you lure hackers into a computer system, or basically into a trap to get their IP address and that sort of thing. Honeypot. It can actually work both ways. A hacker can create a honeypot to get your information as well. But anyway, I know for me, I don't know if the internet is really going to be safe in about a year or two, and whether I'll really need the damn computer or the internet any longer. That includes cell phones, and I'm talking more specifically about the cell phones that receive data. Will we want to throw all this stuff out and go back to flip phones? Flip phones. Why? AI. AI has proven itself every day to be very bad. And I don't, right now, you have to log onto a site to, that AI is artificial intelligence, for those of you who have been asleep. For now, you have to log into sites that have deployed it to interact with it. And when I say interact with it, that doesn't mean you're always speaking to it. It can be just a Google search or whatever search, and it itself has given you its opinion, its answer to your search. What I'm trying to say is, right now we have to go out pretty much and to interact with it, or even accidentally interact with it. A lot of people are interacting with it and don't even know it. But imagine this, in the very near future, remember, Windows downloads, not just Windows, Apple products, everything, downloads updates, right down to your antivirus, updates, right down to your phone, updates. I believe it'll be soon, along with your patch, will be updates for AI. Your phone will then be deployed, will have AI in it, watching your every move, watching your GPS, tracking everything, tracking your internet usage, where you're going, what your political affiliation is, the whole gamut. Monitoring your electrical usage, everything about you, like cattle. Remember I said slavery never ended? It is being perfected. They need to keep track of their cattle. I just wanted to add something. You know, every now and then when I go to post-processing the video, I see a few things I didn't add. You know, this AI, it's going to be software. It's going to be software based, and just like a Microsoft product or any software product, it's going to be sold to everybody. Everybody's who's going to want to buy it's going to buy it. Some of them will be good companies and might use it for good, but most of the time, it's not just going to be, you know, government and politicians that are going to be using it. And you can rest assured, if they're using it, what it's going to be used for. Every company, even underground companies, so they got the money to buy the software package, they're going to buy it. And its primary function is going to be to fool you, to defraud you, to scam you out of money, to manipulate your opinion about everything and anything, to include who to vote for. Think of every robocall. It's going to be that times 10. I'm going to move my parking spot real quick here. There's going to be every robocall to the 10th power. It truly will. I'm hand-holding it, obviously. I'm at my physical therapist. But I just wanted to add this in. You know, most of the companies, they're not going to use it for good. It's going to, I'm repeating myself, it's going to be used to defraud you, fool you, scam you, manipulate you. Oh, and you think that's it? It's going to be used to replace real people in their jobs. Oh yes, get more people depending on the government. Take care. I believe the only way to avoid this problem It's just going back to old technology, the flip phone. I believe the flip phone will actually be the very most expensive phone money can buy. Coming soon. That I believe that very strongly. The old flip phones, if you have one, don't throw it away. Do not throw it away. While you can, make sure you can buy new batteries for it. You can normally buy aftermarket batteries, but make sure you have some new batteries, regardless of of the brand of those batteries. And we'll see. We'll see if I'm crazy or not. I haven't been so far, have I? I haven't been with the price of silver or where it's going. Speaking of the price of silver, let me tell you a little bit about the channel and where it's going. I haven't been ready to talk about it yet, but I had another massive heart attack, and it was massive. It was last month, I think on the 9th. Ambulance, I called the ambulance. I was able to call the ambulance. I was alone in the house. Ambulance picked me up. Long story short, on the ride, they normally give you nitro if you need it. And it's very rare to get the maximum amount of nitro, which is 3 tablets under the tongue. I had 3 tablets under the tongue. They gave me 1. They said it's not working. 2, it's not working. 3. And they gave me 3. And it was really weird about my heart attack. And I have a suspicion of why it happened. I'll get with that. Sun's in my eye, so you're probably seeing shadow and all that garbage. Let's see if that works a little bit. It's not like you need to see my ugly face. So it's really weird. My mind was clear. I was able to answer every question. I even had a sense of humor during the entire ambulance ride. They were holding my hand just to do my pulse. And I had plenty of strength, but pretty soon I could feel all my limbs just, I'll just say it for a lack of a better term, dying. They're dying, but yet my mind was staying sharp. I guess the body was conserving what it was. So it was pretty bad. They basically said it was actually 2. But I'm better. Let's move on from that. I'm actually back in the gym now. I'm very weak in the gym. Very weak in the gym right now. I'm out of breath very easily, but I'm fighting it. So my suspicion is this. Remember I had rotator cuff surgery? Well, there's a lot of work that was done in here, and the doctors warned me to be careful. I could get a blood clot. Anytime you have a surgery, you can get a blood clot. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to ask the cardiologist on my next visit, was it a blood clot? Because my old stent that was put in early 2018, that was plugged up. That's what caused it. 99% clogged up, they said. So I'm wondering if a clot got in there, which means it couldn't have been helped either way. So I'm starting to suspect that. But it was a trip, and it's really weird. I can see the stress on the 2 ambulance care. There was 1 driver and 2 people in the back with me, and I could see the stress on their face and how frantic they were on their communications with the hospital. So I knew it wasn't good. But I was at peace, I guess. I don't know how to say it. I was ready. I don't know, but I guess anyway. So with the channel, I haven't been doing much silver videos. There's really not much to report. I don't believe I want to go in the route of a lot of the new generation silver stackers and how they're doing their videos. And not that they're doing a bad job. I think they're doing an excellent job. But you know, I just like I woke up and it says, one of the titles of a silver video, did silver really just go to the moon overnight? And I'm like, whoa, I'm rich. So I went to log on to see how much my silver stack went up, and it looked like, I'm looking at Kitco.com, 7 cents, 10 cents on another video, you know, 7 cents on one day, and another video does the same thing. It catches me with the title, did silver really just jump and I go on, and it's like it jumps 10 cents a troy ounce. This is not jumping. Jumping is when silver goes up $1, $2, $5, not pennies. So I'm not going to put out videos that just lure you into watching the same old thing. I feel like I just feel like I'm doing an injustice. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do a video and open up a package every time I get something delivered, you know, from APMEX or JM Bullion. It just, y'all seen what a silver eagle is. When something's significant, I'll get to it. So I'm gonna go with where my heart leans to, and that's I'm gonna talk about what's going on in the political theater and what's going on around the world. That's where my heart is right now. It's where I think we all, can use a few more warrior soldiers, you know, advocates for patriotism and whatnot. But anyway, I got to run. Take care of yourselves.